The universe speaks in a silent language. It is a language of pattern of geometry and of profound symmetry. If we quiet our minds and observe the world with deep attention, we can begin to see this language written everywhere. The unfurling of a fern, the spiral of a galaxy, the intricate dance of atoms. One of the most ancient and powerful expressions of this cosmic language is the flower of life. At first glance, it appears as a simple, elegant design of 19 overlapping circles, all perfectly arranged within a larger boundary. Its beauty draws the eye into harmonious, balanced form. This pattern is far more than decoration. It is a visual representation of the interconnectedness of all things. Each circle is complete in itself, yet intrinsically linked to every other circle, its center resting on the circumference of its neighbors. This overlap creates a web of unity, a field of potential where separation is an illusion and connection is the underlying truth. The flower of life is a mandala of creation, a visual metaphor for the journey from the one to the many, and back to the one again. It whispers the secret that all of life, in all its magnificent diversity, emerges from a single, unified source, a field of pure potentiality from which all existence blossoms. When you gaze upon this symbol, you are not just looking at a static image. You are witnessing a frozen moment in the dynamic process of creation itself. It is a snapshot of the universe in the act of becoming. The pattern can be expanded infinitely in all directions, suggesting the boundless, limitless nature of consciousness and the cosmos. It holds within its simple lines the proportions, ratios, and forms that govern the physical world, from the microscopic to the macroscopic. It serves as a key, a map that can help us unlock a deeper understanding of our own nature and our place within the grand, unfolding story of existence, reminding us that we are not separate from this pattern, but are an integral part of its living fabric. The story of the flower of life begins not with a shape, but with the absence of shape. It starts in the void, the unmanifest field of pure potentiality. This void is not an empty nothingness. Rather, it is the womb of all creation, a silent, still ocean of infinite possibility before any form has emerged. In this state of pure consciousness, the first movement occurs. A single point of awareness decides to know itself. It projects a sphere around itself, creating the first circle. This initial circle represents the birth of self-awareness, the first I am in the vastness of the unmanifest. It is the first step in the universe's journey to experience itself through form. From this primary act, the process unfolds in a precise and sacred sequence. Diagram: 1 circle. Vesica Piscis, 7 circles. The point moves from center to circumference. It projects a second identical circle. This creates the Vesica Piscis, duality, partnership, fusion of opposites. This geometric dance continues. On each day of creation, a new circle is added. By the 6th day, 6 circles surround the first, forming 7 interlocking circles. This is the seed of life, the geometric blueprint. Seed of life, 7 days of creation. Seed of life, 7 notes of the musical scale. Seed of life, 7 energy centers or chakras. It is the core structure from which complexity arises. A symbol of fertility, a symbol of birth, a symbol of new beginnings. Observe early cell division in an embryo. 1 cell, 2 cells, 4 cells, 8 cells. This mirrors the ancient pattern, a universal principle. Complex life begins with simple repeating division and growth, guided by geometric intelligence ensuring order and harmony. The process expands further. More circles are added in the same precise way. Each new circle emerges from the intersection points. This continues until 19 circles complete the flower of life, a fully developed field of creation, a unified matrix. Within the elegant and complete form of the flower of life lies a hidden architecture that reveals the very structure of reality. If you isolate a specific set of circles from the larger pattern, another significant symbol emerges. This symbol is called the fruit of life. It is composed of 13 circles, selected from the heart of the flower of life. These 13 circles represent the primary informational systems of the cosmos, the keys that unlock the fabric of space and time. The flower of life represents the female receptive aspect, the field of potential. The fruit of life is considered the male active aspect, the blueprint for actualized form. When we connect the centers of each of the 13 circles with straight lines, Metatron's cube, named after the archangel Metatron, scribe of the universe, keeper of the Akashic records, overseer of the flow of energy from the divine source. Metatron's cube is a three-dimensional projection of a four-dimensional reality, a linear map showing the pathways of creation, a symbol of the finite containing the infinite. All fundamental shapes of sacred geometry are contained within its lines. Metatron's cube is a profound teaching tool. It illustrates how creative energy flows and manifests into structure and form. Radiating straight lines, masculine principle, directed energy, circles of the fruit of life, feminine principle, receptive fields. Together they show the balance required for creation. Contained within the intricate linework of Metatron's cube are the 5 essential forms that are the very foundation of our three-dimensional reality. These are the Platonic solids, the tetrahedron, the cube, the octahedron, the icosahedron, the dodecahedron. These 5 shapes are unique in geometry because every face is an identical regular polygon, and the same number of faces meet at each vertex. They are the most symmetrical and fundamental three-dimensional shapes possible. Plato associated these solids with the classical elements as the building blocks of physical matter. Each solid was linked to a specific element. All 5 can be derived from the straight lines of Metatron's cube, a powerful revelation. This ancient intuition finds echoes in modern science. Crystallography shows minerals arranged into ordered lattices reflecting Platonic symmetries. For example, the crystal structure of fluorite is octahedral. Pyrite crystals form perfect cubes or dodecahedrons. This demonstrates that nature organizes itself according to these same principles of geometric efficiency and harmony. The flower of life is a geometric generator of this divine proportion, found in the relationships between its circles, lines, and the shapes it contains. Beyond the golden ratio, the symbol also embodies the principles of fractal geometry. The geometry itself is a map of vibrational frequencies and their harmonious interactions. This underlying mathematical and vibrational order gives the flower of life its power as a symbol of coherence and harmony. The flower of life is not the invention of a single culture. It is an ancient symbol that has mysteriously appeared across the globe. Separated by vast distances and thousands of years, this widespread presence suggests it is more than a cultural artifact. It reads like an archetypal pattern, from the collective human consciousness, a universal recognition of a fundamental truth. One of its most famous depictions is in Egypt at the Temple of Osiris in Abydos, burned into granite with incredible precision. Engineers are still puzzled by the technique. These markings date back thousands of years, tying the symbol to ancient Egyptian mystical traditions. Leonardo da Vinci studied the symbol intensely, from the flower and seed of life to the Platonic solids, connecting human microcosm to the celestial macrocosm. The flower of life, with its depiction of an interconnected, unified field, serves as a powerful ancient metaphor for quantum concepts. At the subatomic level, the universe is not tiny solid balls. It's a shimmering web of probabilities. A field of pure potentiality particles exists as waves until observed. This quantum field is a seamless, indivisible whole, much like the unified grid of the flower of life. It suggests separation is an illusion. Everything is profoundly interconnected. One of the most fascinating principles is the observer effect. Measurement collapses a wave into a localized particle. Consciousness is not passive. It actively participates in creating reality. The flower of life's creation sequence mirrors this process. It begins with the void, the field of pure potential. Then, through a point of focus or awareness, a form begins to emerge, circle by circle. The symbol shows consciousness co-creating the world. This challenges the idea of a mindless machine universe and points to a participatory universe where mind and matter are entangled. The flower of life can be seen as a map of consciousness. The central circle is the point of individual awareness. The I and I, the surrounding circles, represent our relationships and our connections to the world around us. The entire pattern represents the unified field of consciousness. We are all embedded in. Our thoughts, intentions, and state of being ripple into the field, influencing the whole. This perspective gives our lives profound meaning and responsibility. If consciousness helps shape reality, the quality of our consciousness matters. Cultivate harmony, cultivate coherence, cultivate love, contribute to a more harmonious reality for ourselves. The sacred geometry encoded within the flower of life is not just an abstract concept. Its principles are woven into the very fabric of our biology. The processes of life, from the molecular to the organismic level, unfold according to patterns of harmonic proportion and efficient design. This intelligence continues at the core of our being. In DNA, viewed from above, the DNA double helix reveals a decagon, related to the pentagon and the golden ratio. The DNA's twists and turns exhibit phi relationships. The human body's energy fields are described using this sacred geometry. That field takes a torus shape, a donut-shaped vortex flowing out from the heart and around the body. While the flower of life is an ancient symbol, its patterns and principles are appearing at the forefront of modern science and technology. Nature consistently chooses the most efficient and stable structures, and this geometry is the epitome of efficiency. Graphene, a single layer of carbon atoms in a hexagonal lattice, has revolutionized materials science. This structure is identical to the grid formed by the centers of the circles in the flower of life. Graphene's incredible strength, flexibility, and conductivity all stem from this perfect geometric arrangement. In cymatics, the study of visible sound and vibration, we can see these patterns emerge directly. Particles arrange into beautiful, complex geometric forms, many of which are identical to the flower of life and its components. Geometry is the physical manifestation of frequency. In the end, why do we feel such a profound and often unspoken attraction to this particular pattern? The flower of life resonates with us because it speaks a truth that our soul already knows. It is a mirror reflecting the deepest structure of our own being, the universe we inhabit. It tells a simple, silent story. The story of unity. It shows us how the magnificent, infinite diversity of creation, every star, every stone, every living being arises from a single unified source through a process of elegant, orderly, and harmonious unfolding. It is the universe explaining its own creative genius through the pure and simple language of geometry. The symbol is a bridge. It connects the spiritual with the scientific, the ancient with the modern, the microcosm with the macrocosm. It demonstrates that the laws of physics and the laws of consciousness are not separate, but are two sides of the same cosmic coin. It shows us that beauty is not arbitrary, but is the result of underlying mathematical truth and harmony. To look upon the flower of life is to remember our origins in the stardust, our own cellular division that mimicked the seed of life, our own consciousness, that is a spark of the universal fire. It is a symbol of homecoming, a map back to the source. In a world that often feels fragmented, chaotic, divided, the flower of life offers a potent and hopeful message. It reminds us that beneath the surface of our apparent separation, we are all part of one seamless, interconnected whole. Every circle is essential to the integrity of the pattern. Every person is essential to the wholeness of humanity. The symbol is not something to be merely believed in. It is something to be experienced. By drawing it, by meditating on it, by seeing its echoes in the natural world. The ultimate power of the flower of life lies in its ability to awaken us to this profound reality of oneness. It is more than just a beautiful design. It is a key that unlocks a deeper perception. It is a tool for transformation, a guide for creation, and a timeless testament to the intelligent, elegant, and unified nature of all existence. It whispers to us that we are not random occurrences in a meaningless universe, but are integral parts of a grand, cosmic dance of creation, a living geometry of love and light unfolding in perfect harmony. And in knowing this, we find our true purpose, to live as a conscious expression of that very harmony.